Hello, good afternoon. This is Robert Radford and 50 Years of Chess. The next game I'm bringing you is a really interesting one. Back in 1992, which is quite a long time ago now, I was taking part in the chess congress in Bristol in the major section. And I was involved in the last round with a chance of winning. I was on 3 points. And there were two other guys, I think Dave Summerhill, a former winner, was on 3 points, and there was another guy, Mike Collier, who's on 3.5 points. Mike only needed to get a draw to probably win this tournament, or a win would win outright. Whereas I had to win if I wanted to have any chance of getting to be Bristol champion at major level, and also the cash bonus that goes with it. So Mike was a player who he liked his chess, but he liked his beer as well. He liked to have a pint or two in matches. And just before this game took place, a friend of mine came up to me at the chessboard. He was also a chess player. I don't know if he was playing in this tournament or not, but he said to me, I'd just been speaking to Mike Collier, and I said, oh yeah. He said, I asked him out whether he thought he would beat you or not. And I said, okay, what did he say? He said, yeah, no problem. He said, it shouldn't be a problem. I beat him before. I beat him lots of times. And I said, no, he hasn't actually. He's beaten me once. And I've beaten him once and we've drawn once. But, okay, thanks for telling me. He said, that's all right. And so he walked off and I'm fired up, ready to go. I thought, well, for a start, I'm not going to let him beat me now. He made that sort of statement. And the other thing is, anyone who drinks pints and pints and pints at a match, I'm not happy about losing to someone like that anyway. I'm not saying it's wrong to have a beer. I drink beer myself. And I have one now and again when I play matches, but not to excess. But in saying that, Mike was a nice enough guy when you talked to him, and he could play a bit of chess as well. I don't know, I never really understood why his rating never ever went up much. Whereas other people, like myself and others, our ratings went up a lot higher, and yet he could play just as good as us. But I guess he just wasn't consistent enough and lost to weaker players more often. So I had the white pieces in this game. Very important not to lose this. Certainly I have to win if I want to get anywhere. So let's look at how the game went. I was white and I opened with, I think Mike's rating around this time was around 1630 and I was 1750 ELO terms, that is. So Mike, I opened up with E4. Mike played C5. Knight F3, D6, we're playing the Sicilian. D4, C takes D, Knight takes D, Bishop D7, Knight C3, G6, going to fianchetto his bishop. Bishop E3, Bishop G7, Queen D2, getting ready for a kingside attack perhaps. Knight F6, hitting that pawn there. Bishop E3, Bishop E2. Knight C6, castle, Rook C8, F4, castle, H3, Knight takes knight, Bishop takes knight, Bishop C6, and Bishop F3. So at this stage, I have all the space. My pieces are pushed up to the 4th rank, whereas Mike hasn't got anything up there at this time. He's still on the 3rd, on the 6th, 7th and 8th ranks. On the scoreboard is showing a recall at the moment, certainly on pieces. Now he played A6, so he's getting ready with that queenside attack with the fianchettoed bishop. This is all part of what you do when you play Sicilian. Rook on A to D1, B5, here he comes. Queen E3, Queen C7. So he's thinking about driving away the knight then moving the bishop and picking up that pawn on c2. So I played rook f2 to make sure it's protected. Now he's moved his queen across to b7. This is what he's really up to. So I played rook to d2. I'm still okay with rook, queen and bishop all protecting that e-pawn. So I'm ready if he tries to do anything like play d5. And he played b4. Now that is a problem if I don't play this right, because if I move my knight to b1 or to e2, then the e-pawn on e4 drops, so I have to go into d5. So he played knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop. So queen takes bishop, bishop, d7 and g4. The rook comes to c7, probably going to try and double up rooks and hit that c-pawn. Queen a8. Okay, well, he wants a queen swap. I'm happy to do that. Takes a rook away from where he wants to be. And that gives me a chance now to do something about this attack on this c-pawn. So I play rook d4. He defended the b-pawn, which I was attacking with a5. King up to g2. I want to get my king up the board into the centre before he does. So I'm going to get a passed pawn there if I play it right. He's brought his rook back across to c7. So that swapping of queens wasn't a great idea for him. Now I brought the bishop back to d3. Bishop c8. Rook c4. This is my plan, to try and swap rook. Bishop takes. Bishop b7. King up. Rook c8. So now I play b3, and that's a good position to be in. It says even. We're even according to the bar there on the right, where the red line is. We're exactly even. So he's moving his king up to g7. Rook e1, attacking that e-pawn on e7, which he defends with his rook. So now I play h4, because this is what's called a minority attack. When you're playing with less pawns against more pawns, you need to try and cause an imbalance there, where the pawns won't be so strong against you. So he plays f6. This is so he got room to put his king on f7 and then to e8 probably. Now I move my king across the middle. I don't have to worry now about his pawn going to e6. So he went king to f7, f5, pawn takes, and then he brought his rook back to c8. It's obvious that he's planning to go to g8 with that, so I have to make sure I can meet that rook when it arrives, which I did. Swap off, and then his king's much further away again. So this was good for me to do this. King d4, king g7, king d4. I'm not worried about his king coming up, because if he does, I can just drop the bishop back to e2 and he'll never get over that line. So he's gone back because he knows this. And now he's gone back to f8. And I played h5. And when he played h6, I was very happy with that, because for a moment he was better than me on the bar there. Now we're back even again. And now I've gone bishop b5. Bishop b5. So I'm quite happy with this position. As I stated in the magazine, that I have a 3-2 on this side with pawns, and I'm going to get a passed pawn through there. Hopefully it'll be the b pawn. So now he's gone back to 8. This is a good move, because it means I've either got to protect it with my king, which I don't want to do, because that king is going to be used to mop up these pawns on the on my queen side. So I've got to play the bishop back, and then I can continue moving my king forward. So I've moved the bishop back to d3, protecting the f pawn. Now he can go king e8. Now the bishop's moved. So well played for that, Mike. That was a good little move you played there. I'm not moving my king into c4 because of bishop a6. And when I move my king back to e4, you can swap the pawns off, swap the bishops off, and my king's gone backwards a square. So c3, b takes c, king takes c, king 8. So he's getting up a bit of steam with his king now. b4, I've got to try and get this pawn off the board. If he doesn't take it, then I'll have to wait. Yeah, he's played a4. So that's going to make it a little bit harder because I've got to take more time to get it. So b5, king c7, a3, that locks in that pawn on a4. I don't have to go down the board to chase it. King b6, king b4. So I've locked his king out, but it's going to be difficult for me to win this pawn. He's played bishop to b7. Now that's annoying because, again, I could, if I tried to move my king to c4 to protect both those pawns, and then my bishop back to c2, it looks like I can win it, but he can still go in king a5, so I can't. So he's very close to getting the draw he needs to win this tournament, or to at least come first and put me out of it. So I've got to do something. So I played the bishop into e4. Now I mentioned in the magazine that I was very happy here because all the white squares around my pawns are just great. Look at those squares on a6, c6, e6 and g6. There's no way his king can get in there, but the one place he can get in on f5 is what I got to watch for. But I've worked out that I can take that a pawn, and when he comes into f5 I can march out the board with my king, and I'll either get a queen or it will force off his bishop, and then I should be able to get my other pawn out. So he's gone back to a8 with his bishop. I've taken a pawn, and here he comes with his king. So he's into my camp now for the first time. He's getting into my camp, but it's cost him. I've got 2 passed pawns, and I've got to go for this. King a5, king 4. Yeah, he's going to really try now and get this position changed. So he could go king e into e5, and I've lost a pawn there, definitely. But he will be further away from my king. So what he's done is he's played bishop b7, and he's going to try and win that f pawn with the bishop, which I can't really prevent. Otherwise, if I move my bishop, I'll lose my d pawn, which I don't want to do. So I've gone in chasing his bishop, and there he goes, back into c8. So I'm going after it, knowing that he's going to get the f5 pawn, which he does. And I can push my pawn now, and there's no way now he can stop me queening. And the computer shows that this is a 1 game for me now. I've got a +8 with the white position, with the white pieces. He's if you look on the bar on the right of the board, you can see where that red line is on that bar. Above halfway should be black, but it's nearly all white or grey as it looks like on here. Therefore, I've got a really crushing win here now. Then he plays an unusual move I didn't think he was going to play, which was e5. Now I could go pawn takes pawn ep, en passant, which is the French word for pass. I pass, but if I do that, he can take with a bishop, but it doesn't do anything. It's all too late. So I push my pawn again. I'm just going for the win now. and he pushes his pawn on, and I just take it. So he won't get a queen with it. And then he went bishop takes on e4, taking the bishop. So I could just queen now, and then he wins the d pawn. But I thought, well, I'm going to get a queen anyway, so I'll just take that pawn on d6, so he can't race home with that one. And it also gives me 3 passed pawns at this moment, and he can't stop them all. So with a 10.9 advantage on the computer, it's a clear win for me, and he's had enough and he's resigned at this point, and so his hopes of winning are dashed, and he's gone from leading to ending up 3rd place, as Dave Summerall also got a result and managed to get to 4 points. So him and I are both on 4, and Mike Summerall ended up on 3.5. But even though we were joint first, I was the crowned Bristol Major champion because I had a better goal average or difference in the points in the way they were counted up. So I was the Bristol champion for the first time, which I was really pleased about. And Dave was runner-up in that sense, but we both came first. Funny thing is, we had a reversal of that in another tournament, in another major, Bristol Major, where he actually won the cup, and I also won conjoint first with him. So we both won the tournament, but he won the Bristol Championship on that occasion. Sadly, Dave's not with us now. He died some years ago. Nice fella. I really liked him. I only played him once in a match. And I'll put it on one day. So this is it. I won it, and I'm really pleased to have done so. Now I'm going to share a picture with you in a moment. And here's a picture of myself. Let me see, I was about 53. I was about, how old was I there? 53, 60, 70. I was about 40 there when I won this cup for the very first time. Went on to win it 5 times, but I came first in that tournament 6 times, but 5 times as the Bristol champion winning the cup. So I was very proud and pleased to have won this trophy. I got many other pictures of me older with this trophy. I'll probably show you them at some stage. But there you go. That was me winning the tournament.